In his tell-all memoir, Prince Harry wrote candidly about his life both inside and outside of the royal family. The Duke of Sussex went into unprecedented detail, revealing personal thoughts, feelings and experiences. At one point, Harry recounted his wife Meghan Markle going into labor with their firstborn child, Archie. He admitted to taking several penetrating hits of laughing gas, a confession that has provoked backlash from some commentators. Andrea Camano and Demi Griffiths, hosts of Hello! Magazine's A Right Royal podcast, discussed Harry's book earlier this month. Ms. Camano referenced a conversation she had had with a friend, who argued, "The only thing I can take away from this is that Meghan has 3 children," a sentiment the royal journalist did not disagree with. She explained, "Him taking all the laughing gas, for me, that's a red line. That's just not funny." In Spare, Harry recalled Meghan being in labor with Archie back in May 2019. He wrote, "Meg was so calm. I was calm too. I saw 2 ways of enhancing my calm. 1. Nando's chicken, brought by our bodyguards. 2. A canister of laughing gas beside Meg's bed. I took several slow penetrating hits. Meg, bouncing on a giant purple ball, a proven way of giving nature a push, laughed and rolled her eyes. I took several more hits. Now, I was bouncing too." When her contractions began to quicken and deepen, a nurse came and tried to give some laughing gas to Meg. There was none left. Divisions emerge in Camp Sussex as Prince Harry's vicious piece of work book backfires. Prince Harry's explosive memoir has been described as a vicious piece of work by Niall Gardner, the former aide to Margaret Thatcher. Speaking to Dan Wootton on GB News, Niall Gardner said, "I think the British public have turned Harry really into a pariah, as a result of this very nasty book." Find out more here. Describing Harry as Meghan's 3rd child, Ms. Camano referenced the prince's further revelations about his drug use, mentioning his admission about rolling a joint while Meghan and Archie were asleep. She said, "I just would not admit it. To me, it just feels like he is Meghan's 3rd child. I just feel like he's very immature for 38 and I don't think he should have told us that. I could live without knowing about those moments." Ms. Griffiths speculated a possible reason for Harry's extreme level of candor. She said, "Maybe he's done this so there are no skeletons. There's nothing that anyone can use against him ever again because he said it all himself." In his memoir, Harry admitted to using illegal drugs, including cannabis, cocaine and magic mushrooms. Speaking to Anderson Cooper during his appearance on 60 Minutes, the prince revealed he used psychedelics to help deal with the death of his mother, Diana, Princess of Wales. He said, "I would never recommend people to do this recreationally. But doing it with the right people, if you are suffering from a huge amount of loss, grief or trauma, then these things have a way of working as a medicine." In his memoir, Harry admitted to using illegal drugs, including cannabis, cocaine and magic mushrooms. Speaking to Anderson Cooper during his appearance on 60 Minutes, the prince revealed he used psychedelics to help deal with the death of his mother, Diana, Princess of Wales. He said, "I would never recommend people to do this recreationally. But doing it with the right people, if you are suffering from a huge amount of loss, grief or trauma, then these things have a way of working as a medicine." The Duke admitted the psychedelics helped him clear the windshield, the misery of loss. He continued, they cleared away this idea that I had in my head that I needed to cry to prove to my mother that I missed her. When in fact, all she wanted was for me to be happy. Harry was seen as something of a royal rebel during his younger years, having frequently been pictured partying and leaving nightclubs in the early hours of the morning. In his book, the Duke of Sussex recalled the British media portraying King Charles III as a harried single dad coping with a drug-addled child, noting that Harry was of course, doing cocaine. But in Spare, Harry confessed, "Of course, I had been doing cocaine around this time," he wrote. "At someone's country house, during a shooting weekend, I'd been offered a line, and I'd done a few more since." He continued, "It wasn't much fun, and it didn't make me particularly happy, as it seemed to make everyone around me, but it did make me feel different, and that was the main goal." The prince was later accused of using cocaine during his wild Las Vegas party in August 2012. Both Harry and the royal family declined to comment. When asked about the subject by ITV's Tom Bradbury earlier this month, Harry deflected the question. Mr. Bradbury said, "There's a fair amount of drugs, marijuana, magic mushrooms, cocaine. I mean, that's gonna surprise people." Harry replied, "But important to acknowledge." Referring to a journalist piling pressure on a then 17-year-old Harry to go public with a photograph of him taking cocaine, Mr. Bradbury pressed the prince on whether he believed it was in the public interest. Harry said, "I think what's a matter of public interest is the relationship between the institution with the tabloid media. That to me is more public interest in anything else." While Mr. Bradbury indicated that Harry's drug use would come as a surprise, a senior lecturer in addiction and mental health has described Harry as perfectly ordinary. Writing for The Independent this month, Ian Hamilton, a lecturer at the University of York, said, "He was hardly unusual in using drugs like cocaine at this stage in his life. If anything, it reveals the Duke of Sussex to be perfectly ordinary." He added, "He was hardly unusual in using drugs like cocaine at this stage in his life, as it is young people who in the past made up the majority of those using drugs in a recreational way."